John?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening, for this day, for all of your blessings. Pray your blessings upon everyone that's here this evening. Pray your blessing upon the proceedings. Forgive us of our sins. Bless our community and help us to honor you in all that we do. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Let's pay allegiance to the flag, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, please be seated. Yeah, I got it. Okay, we're going to start with a public hearing this evening on taxi cabs. I guess Curtis isn't here yet. Anita, you want to,
He was in the hallway coming.
he was in the hallway?
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Okay. Curtis, you want to start out? We've already called it to order.
Yes, sir. Public hearing tonight on two different topics. One is a taxi cab business application that's been submitted, and the other one is on rates. We've raised the rates for the taxi cabs. So the new company is application put in by Bobby Burrows for A1 Cab Company. As we discussed in the taxi cab committee, there was a slot open. I have reviewed the application and found no errors and have submitted it forward. So we just basically need to discuss
Okay.
the reasoning for it. Obviously, with everything opening back up, we have found, and even during COVID, there were times that we could not get a cab overnight. So one of the things that was discussed is 24-hour service, making sure that we had enough cab companies out here to provide that for our citizens. As far as what happens on post, we have no bearing on that, but here inside the city limits, we could absolutely use another cab company. So, like I said, the application has been reviewed, and it was complete, and there's really nothing else I have to say about that.
Okay. And then I'll have you stand back up when we start the part for the race. Does anybody want to have any discussion? Anybody out there? Yeah, come on up to the podium, please. Penny?
Personally, I don't see where there's another cab company needed.
Okay.
For one thing, not one of us run at full capacity. There's not enough business out there. You've only got Yellow Cab running the night shift, and we cover for the other companies because we are working together.
Okay.
Plus you have all the Ubers and Lyfts out there that aren't accounted for. And at night, let's say, just take night for instance, overnight shift, we get maybe 3 to 4 calls per night. And this is, we're getting all the calls at night from all the companies. And maybe one of those 3 to 4 calls are St. Robert city limits. Just the one, not all of them.
Okay.
To me, and this is my opinion, he's wanting the company for Fort Leonard Wood to come in on weekends for the gravy, which should be between them and Fort Leonard Wood. He shouldn't even brought you guys into it with the insurance and everything else. If you check with Progressive Insurance, most of them, they will tell you 5 cars limit. And right now, he told us at the meeting that he has 15. Well, your ordinance says 12. When we ask about that, we were told that 3 were for on post. According to Fort Leonard Wood's taxi agreement, they have to come through St. Robert to be approved. They have to be approved through the state and St. Robert before they'll approve them out there. So how is he running with 3 extra cars?
Yeah, that doesn't pertain to us, but he can only have 12 in the city. So, yeah.
But he told us he has 15
Well,
in the city.
he won't have 15
That's
in
not
the
what he
city.
has on the application.
Okay.
Well, that's what he told us he had when I asked directly.
Mm,
And he also told me he had 24-hour service. He doesn't.
okay.
I had a whole lot here to say. I'll just go this part. Yellow is the only one with 24-hour service. We average 3 to 4 calls per night. Maybe one of them is inside St. Robert's city limits. We run 2 cars during the day, the first shift. One for Fort Leonard Wood, one for St. Robert. The afternoon shift, we run 1 car. We don't have enough business for 2 cars. 1, to do both Fort Leonard Wood and St. Robert. If there was more business, we'd have it out there more. At night, we have 1 car. He stays at the house and takes the calls from the house. That's the only way we afford to be able to do it. And like I said, we do it for all the companies. I don't know about Checker, but we do it for the others. Well, if the business was so good, the one company wouldn't have went out of business.
You got a question?
I got a couple.
Okay.
Chief, we've got so many license availabilities, right?
Correct, we have the one left.
Got one.
Right, but we've got a set number. We say X number of people can have, or X number of companies can have a license in the city, yes?
Yes, sir.
Could I see that in the ordinance, please? Because I couldn't find it.
I'm sure we can get you an answer on that.
I have a copy of the ordinance and I could not find
Okay,
that.
well, we can get you an answer on that,
Okay.
That
I'm
number
sure.
is set by you guys.
That's what I thought, so.
Yes.
And the other thing, as far as a business in the city, and I'm just, speaking, as a council member, if somebody wants to put a business in the city.
Yes.
And they've looked at it, and they've planned for it, and they say their business is gonna succeed, or they feel it's gonna succeed, it's not really
Okay.
our responsibility to say, no, you can't do it.
So I understand that. So if I come in for a company for myself instead of the one with my husband, I can get one?
As long as we have an available license.
But that's up to you. That's,
No.
you guys have approved that,
Right.
what we have a capacity of from time to time.
So
That's
we-
what the ordinance said.
We can change that, you're absolutely right.
Right.
We can change the number of licenses by agreement of this council. But the other part to that is, and unless I'm speaking out of turn, Mayor, is, we really have no, somebody comes in, it's the same thing if they want to open up a business of, a
hotel.
merchandise.
I understand that
Or
100%.
what?
A hotel.
Yeah, a
Everybody
hotel
says,
or
what do we
resi-
need
or a-
another
Okay.
hotel for?
Okay.
Or a restaurant,
Sir,
If
you're
they've done
putting us in
if
that
they've done the-
line.
If they've
Do
done
you
the-
regulate the motels, their price they charge?
Hang on, one second. If they do the research, they fill out the application, and they ask for it, whether I believe the business is gonna fail or not is not important. It's their business venture, it's not ours, and if we have the availability for it, it's really.
So it doesn't
not for
matter
us to-
whether, it's not, your ordinance where it states as needed means nothing?
Well, apparently, who put the application?
Put it-
Apparently, he
company.
said it's needed in his eye. He's done a business plan, so.
Are you done?
No?
No, then have,
Then
yeah,
I'll
I
let
can't
him,
no, no.
I'll let
Are
him
you
take
done,
over.
Penny?
Yeah, I'll let him take
No,
over.
you go.
Okay. You gonna take over? Okay.
My name's Nick Schmidt. I'm with Post Cab.
Okay.
My only question and concern about it would be, to my knowledge, there is a gentleman that's coming from Checker Cab. Is that correct? You're taking 5 of your cabs from Checker Cab and forming your own business? Is that right? I'm asking. Because that's not a benefit to the city at all, because all you're doing is cutting down from 15 cabs that you have to form your own business. So now you're taking 5 away from your crew. It's not helping the city at all. It is just splitting a company.
But again, it just goes back to if a person thinks that their business venture is gonna be successful, it's not our job to say, go back and do your homework and.
Oh, I
bring-
agree.
Bring it back to us. So if a person, and it's like that for any business, if a person says that, hey, I wanna do this business in the city, we have an ordinance that allows it, we have provisions that allow it, they've done everything that the city has asked. It's not really for us to say, no, that you can't do it just because we don't think it's gonna, succeed. If it meets all of our requirements,
And I agree 100%. I mean, yeah, more business is great, but what I'm saying is it's not benefiting the city at all by having another company, because it's not another company. It's the same company, just a different name. There's no benefit to it
so
for the
there's really
city.
no difference then if we approve the
I-
license or not.
I'm asking.
No, that's what I'm saying,
company.
so.
Is that right? I mean,
It sounds like they're gonna approve it anyway.
well, it's already been approved. I get it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Anybody else? Discussion? Somebody else is coming. Anita.
I'm sure Anita was thinking before.
Yes, ma'am, your name?
Hi, I'm Jen Fry.
Pardon?
I'm Jen Fry.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Haven't seen you in a long, long time.
How are you?
Good.
This is for all of you, including Todd Williams. So you guys have your own cab ordinance.
Which we
But yet-
tried to get rid of for years and years and years and years.
It sounds like a lot of it's not being followed, okay? And that there's some unfamiliarity with your own ordinance.
Well, we have a committee
So-
that does that, not all the council
Okay,
members are on that
so,
committee.
so currently, we have 39 taxis in operations. You guys don't regulate the number of licenses. You regulate the number of cars. 12 per company, capped at 7 companies, right?
No, it's capped at 5.
At 5 companies?
Yeah, I believe. Capped. 7? Really?
7?
Capped at 7?
7.
You know that, that must
Okay.
change it while I was gone.
Okay, so currently we have 6 companies. We're running at 39 with all 6 companies, 39 vehicles. Your ordinance states 12 vehicles per company, but one company claims to have 15. I don't know how that got through your city ordinance and approval, but 39 opens up 36 spots still available based on supply and demand. But before you guys make a decision on this, please get familiar with your own ordinance. Please.
Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Come on up.
Good evening, I'm Richard Boat with Inner City Cab.
Okay.
Been a cab driver here for 30 years. My only gripe is, he already has access to a company. He's already flooded the market. My drivers make half the money they did last year. All right, which is business, I understand that. But to me, if he has another company, he's gonna flood it again with even more cars. He's running over capacity now. I got 7 cars on and open spots. If there was more supply and demand, I would have all those spots filled. Believe me, I invest everything in my company. This is the first year I've actually made any money in probably 5 years. And I also want to note, he has been suspended from post already this year for 30 days, and they got through that. And which happened to any company, it's hard to control all your drivers. All right? I even have a problem with some of my drivers to control them. You know, it's hard to control another person. You can tell them till you're blue in the face, don't do this, and he goes out and do that, you know? I mean, you can fire that guy, but it's hard to replace him. It's hard to find help, hard to find somebody who even has a driver's license.
How long you own Inner City Cab? That's since the beginning. Because I remember the guy that came in, because they were all
Glasscock,
against him when he
yeah,
tried to get
yeah.
his.
Glasscock used to own it.
Yeah.
And then I went in partners with him, and then I ended up owning it.
Oh, okay, I didn't know it changed. Okay.
Yeah. But I have drove for Yellow Cab, Union Cab.
You guys all work together, yeah?
Yeah, like I said, I've drove for 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, I've watched them come and go. And to me, I can see it happening, you know, and I understand you guys can't deny a business. I can understand that. But I think there definitely needs to be a cap. You know, the 12 cars is the limit. I don't want to see him put on 20 cars just to work the post out there.
He won't in the city.
Well, he won't in the city, but he will on post, as long as he's got that license.
I didn't know you guys could pick up on post.
Yeah, that's where we're working, that's where all of our money is.
Get
I'll tell you right
education.
now, if you call me for a cab in the city, I call Yellow Cab. My guys don't even work the city. All they do is work post,
Okay.
you know, because I don't
Yeah, I hadn't seen your
have, I don't have the manpower, don't have the business, you know. When I'm in St. Roberts myself, I call Yellow Cab for a cab, you know.
Okay.
I had a lot of problems this last year with a few of his drivers that he did not take care of. Had one driver quit me for 3 months, finally came back. I mean, there's a whole list. If I could, I should have took some notes.
That's all right.
And I just don't see the benefit of splitting up one company. I mean, I could see Yellow keeping, you know, filling one company up with 12, him getting another company filling up with 12. They'll have 24 cars running. It'll be almost a monopoly to us, giving them, I mean, we actually have a business, but we can't compete. I got 7 cars, I can't compete against 24. There's no way. I mean, I'll always drive.
His mother's.
But I will have to fire my drivers and just drive a cab myself. I mean, I've done it before. I've drove a cab for 30 years, you know? And this is the first year I've made any money in probably 5 years. And that's because of post.
Okay.
But
Okay. We appreciate your comments.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any other comments? Okay, let's go to rates.
All right.
You gotta close one and open the other?
There's no hearing for the rates. It's just an ordinance. The hearing was just for the license.
Yeah, it was all one public hearing, I thought, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
On the taxi rates, people have a right to call.
Go ahead. Tell us about the rates.
Okay, so what we've done for the operators and owners of the cabs is we have raised the rates. I think the last time we did that was probably back before 2010. I'm not sure. It's been quite a while. So obviously with the raising gas prices and us not having done that, that was another issue that was raised by the companies. So in that meeting, what we did is we have raised the rates by $2 on the local stuff. So their first passenger would be 10, 2 or more would be 8, and exclusive use would be 12. On the long distance trips, we went with $2 a mile in the first 50, and then $2.25 a mile on anything above that. So the first 50 would be $2 a mile. Anything over that 50 is charged at $2.25 a mile. So, for instance, it looks like here one passenger to St. Louis would be $281. 2 passengers, $331. That's what they did. It's plus 50 on the over. So if it's over 50 miles, like I said, then that rate is $2.25 per mile. So there's been pretty good increase in that. Also, there are no additional luggage fees are permitted. So that's the major changes in the fees.
Okay. Okay, any comments on the rates? What was it before to St. Louis?
$1.65.
Yeah.
$1.65.
It was about 170 to St. Louis? No.
No, it was 177.
Yeah.
We talked about.
So it went up.
From
Yeah.
175 to
All of it went
225.
up.
Okay, Steve, you got a question? Come on up. I know you're getting old, but, I know you're older than me.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Steve Copeland from Post Cab. On
Former
the-
alderman,
Sir?
former alderman.
Yes, sir. Many years ago. On the rate increase on trips, I think that's going to create, under that kind of a condition, it will create much more animosity and anger, company to company to company to company, in a battle for going out of town. I still believe it should be a flat, set rate to go to St. Louis, Springfield, Lebanon, Rolla, okay, but you take your long distance runs to Springfield, St. Louis, Kansas City, they need to be a flat rate, because it's gonna cause a problem between companies. I mean, problems. There used to be fights at the front gate. Some of you, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, I
remember
remember
those
those.
years ago. There were fist fights. It's gonna create a problem between drivers, I guarantee you. That's our
What do you
opinion. It
think
should
those
be.
rates should be?
St. Louis, I believe, should be a flat rate, no matter how many passengers you put in the car, up to 5, which is the legal limit, $350. Springfield
With
should
5
be
passengers?
for 5 passenger, flat rate. They can split it. We'll do
No baggage
whatever.
claim? Because we're getting reports of people charging $35 a bag.
Yeah, we do not charge for baggage. It's not allowed. It's against the regulations on Fort
I know it
Leavenworth, and
is.
it's against our personnel policy procedures.
So
We will not charge for baggage. Yes, ma'am.
so I have a question. You said 350 for 5, and you said a flat rate. Does that mean one person pays 350 or 5 people pays 350?
No.
No
One
matter how many
char-
people are in the car?
One charge, the way it is right now, we charge $250 to take 1 to 5 people to St. Louis. Flat rate, one cost. They split it 5 ways.
Yeah.
Still remain the same at $350. The main reason is because of the economy, the gasoline, the price of cars, insurance. Insurance on taxi cabs is astronomical. It's almost $100,000 a year to insure a fleet. And that's to be carrying the required insurance, which we're not real sure that anybody's checking on that, to be sure that all these companies are carrying the proper insurance. But the main thing is the flat rate for trips should be a flat rate, not a graduating scale. It's gonna cause problems.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Any comments?
I agree with him.
Yeah. Okay. So that's yellow, intercity, any comment on that?
I concur with a lot of that. What we have now is, about the most you can actually put in a cab is 2 people because they have so much luggage. Half the time you'll fill your trunk up and put luggage in the cab with them, 2 people. Sometimes you can get 3 at the most, and it's a strain on the car.
Yeah.
I'll only allow my drivers to take 2 people. All right, now, I do believe in raising the rates, I do that, you know, I mean, everything's went up, my tires went up, I mean, cost of everything's went up. But I also don't wanna get it out of reach where they can't afford to take that cab either,
Yeah.
you know, and I see people undercutting. I can see that happening, I mean, it's kinda hard to regulate, you can't tell me that I can't go cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, you can let that guy go cheaper, all right, well, his cars end up being junk, and, you know, he's running out of money, you know, but you gotta deal with him for the whole year while he's doing that, you know what I mean? It's kinda hard to regulate.
Okay. Any other comments? Chief, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay,
I do have
Questions?
one thing I just want to make sure is in the record. The A1 application that the chiefs has provided to us does show 10 cars, not 12, not 15. It shows 10 cars. Right.
That's his.
Yes,
current
yes.
number has the other ones.
Okay, I'm just saying, his application's got 10 cars.
But that gives him over 15 right there.
I'd like to say something. Anyone want to say something, Claire?
How's everybody doing? I'm Bob Burrows. I'm the one that applied for A1 cab. So I opened myself up to you to be able to ask me questions on what we're doing and how we're gonna do things. I'm gonna bring 10 cars to the company. Juanita owns Checker Cab. She allowed me to be a part of it as bringing my own cars on. She never made $1 off any of my cars. She allowed me to get on her company, help improve the company, and we made Checker Cab, they're one heck of a business. Now, my mother would like to take her company and go forth herself. If she wants to add cars on, she can, because I filled in her spots where she could not add cars.
yeah.
The ruling on Post, I've spoke to Post already. Post has allowed me to permit me, allowed me to come on. I spoke with them at 3:30 this afternoon, as long as you guys are fine with allowing a permit. Basically, I'm not going out there to flood the market. 12 cars are allowed off Post by your rulings. You can have any amount of cars you want on Post. But if we go out there and we put 20 cars in one company on Post, everybody hurt, including the person that did it. But there's no, she has her dispatcher, I have my dispatcher. We have our own FCC licenses. We're not working together as a company. We don't use the same dispatcher as a company. We won't have the same phone number as a company. They'll be their own entity themselves.
Okay.
Mayor, I got a question.
Yes.
Mr. Burrows, you said that, someone said that you had an employee that was suspended for 30 days?
No, we didn't have an employee. How the Post works. The Post has a ruling out there that there was 2 people caught speeding. None of them worked on my crew, of any in my cars. They were pointed out by MWR. So what MWR did is because of one violation with 2 speeding tickets, they suspended the whole company. They didn't just suspend the drivers, they suspended the whole company. And they're, no, from 2 different drivers that worked for the company.
Directing that question.
Yeah.
Please, Chief.
Go ahead.
But none of them worked for me or drove any of my cars.
That's your question?
Did you get the answer? I didn't hear.
Todd, you got a question?
No, I don't have a question, I just have
I didn't hear
another
it.
comment, because it's been brought up, but part of the application process also, and I'm looking at it right here, also includes valid proof of insurance as required by law for a taxi cab, so he has provided that, so I want to make sure everybody knew that, just so you guys know that that was part of the application that the chief and Detective Burris had seen, so.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, have a seat, thank you.
Charles.
Charles got one. On his application, the zip code is wrong for what it's worth.
Yeah, it shows 65583.
83.
Yeah, it's 8-4, we're in St. Road. But your post office box, where's your?
It is 8-3.
Yeah, it's in Waynesville.
Waynesville.
Yeah, we used to have a requirement to have an office or a phone in the city, but that's gone too, I saw. Yeah. Okay, Penny, you had a question?
Yeah. Bobby, weren't you suspended a couple?
Yeah, let's address the council, please, not other.
My understanding, he was suspended first, and then a month or 2 later, then the company was.
I have never been suspended, have no violations on my license. There's no marks on me in any kind of way, shape, or form. I've not been suspended. Here's what I do. I go on vacation. And when I go on vacation for 2 weeks, everybody thinks I got in trouble. Then I come back. Oh, you're back. You were on suspension. These are the rumors that are caused out there on the base. And I do it 2 or 3 times a year. I go on a 2-week suspension. They don't see me for 2 weeks. I have I have another lady who takes care of my business while I'm here, ask all the questions, so I've never been suspended, you guys.
Okay, okay, thank you. Any other comments to the council? Okay, thank you. Get a motion to, any comments? Todd?
Just motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, Todd makes a
I have a
motion.
question.
Okay.
On the rates, are we going to go ahead and vote on the rates as the chief has presented them? Or are we gonna
We'll worry
consider
about
what
that when we
they?
get to it, Linda.
Okay.
We're in the public hearing right now.
Public hearing
right now. Charles?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Todd, second by Charles. Clarification, discussion, call the roll. To close the public hearing.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Walter's not on there, so. No. Anyway, okay, I'll call the regular council meeting to order and certify quorum. We do have a quorum. Walter was supposed to be online, but he's not there. We have a consent agenda this evening. We have treasurer's report, approval of minutes, and approved payment of bills. We can have the treasurer's report, please.
August 9th, 2022 Treasurer's Report, payable checks in the amount of $446,294.18. We have 7 major vendor checks that represent 90% of the payable checks for a total of $400,938.59. Payroll for July 8, 2022, to include Social Security and Medicare, $212,038. 2 monthly bond payments totaling $45,849.96. Grand total, payable checks, payroll, and bond payments, $1,818,190.61.
Okay, do I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion. Second.
Michael makes a motion, Reggie seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll, please.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have we had a tie election back in August. It was certified and approved, and we have a new council member, Glenn Asquin, and he's gonna be sworn in at this time. You just go out there.
Goodness, Linda Daniels has prompted me, you know, on how I should do this. Are you ready?
So we gotta blame Linda?
What?
I heard you say Linda too.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I, Glenn Asplin,
I, Glenn Asplin,
do solemnly.
Gotta raise his right hand.
do solemnly
Hey,
swear.
there we go.
There we go.
Do solemnly swear
Details,
and affirm
details.
that I possess all the qualifications prescribed by law and the ordinances of the city of St. Robert, Missouri for the office of Alderman Ward 1.
You're supposed to
You
say
You
it.
gotta say it.
You have to repeat it.
I, Glenn Asplin, do solemnly swear and affirm that I possess all the qualifications prescribed by the law and the ordinances of the city of St. Roberts, Missouri for the office of Alderman Ward 1.
Of the city of St. Robert, Missouri, Pulaski County,
Of the city of St. Robert, Pulaski County, Missouri,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
the Constitution of the State of Missouri,
the provisions of state statutes affecting cities of the fourth class and the ordinances of the city of St. Robert, Missouri,
the provisions of state statutes affecting cities of the fourth class and the ordinances of the city of St. Robert, Missouri,
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and respect the confidences and information which comes into my possession as alderman in the city of St. Robert, for which I was duly elected August 2, 22.
and I will faithfully perform the duties of my office and respect the confidences and information which comes into my possession as alderman in the city of St. Robert, for which I duly elected August 2nd, 2022.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we're gonna jump ahead on the agenda and move to the insurance, which is, let's see,
5.9.
5.9, okay? We have Jeff on the phone. We've got a new insurance thing. His father's got some medical issues in the hospital, and he's on Zoom tonight. So Jeff, can you hear us?
Hello, Jeff.
I'm having a hard time hearing about maybe half of what's being said.
Okay, I'll try and double speak.
Do you want to tell us what the changes are, Jeff, from last year? The Finance Committee met, Jeff was present. We reviewed the changes and they passed it on to the Board of Aldermen.
Yeah, I can go through the highlights of the premium summary page, which is page 33, and I'll touch on the premium changes and then what kind of caused those changes. Just go line by line. We had overall a 7.1% increase in the premium, which is a little below what the market is bearing right now on rate increases. Commercial property was the big driver of the increase as far as the percentage-wise. And we were able to take up and value 9 of the properties that were underinsured. We did replacement cost appraisals on those properties, from all the properties, I should say, and those were the properties that were somewhat or significantly underinsured. Most of that is due to inflation in building material costs, and the cost of reconstruction in real estate has gone up significantly. So we had a pretty good increase there. Our carrier was able to help us in the inland marine area, which is your equipment. That was actually brought down a little bit, even though we had brought on $500,000 or more in new equipment purchases throughout the year. They were able to cut the rate a little bit to make up for some of the property increases. Commercial crime remained the same, no changes there. The general liability was up, and that was up due to some significant increases in just growth in the city. All the utilities were up as far as revenues, gas, water, electric, and then of course the trash was all new. So the city, as the city grows, the GL exposures grow with it, and that is how they come up with a premium for the general liability. In the automobile area, we added 5 trailers and a new automobile net throughout the year, so that brought that up about $8,600. The cyber did not change. Cyber liability remains the same. The linebacker, which is your employment practices liability, and the actual liability for the public officials was up just a little bit in premium $2,500, and again, that's growth of the city and the responsibilities of the public officials. Law enforcement legal is flat, no changes there, so no premium changes at all there. The umbrella is a percentage of the general liability and all the other liabilities as it goes over the auto, the law enforcement, general liability, and the employment practices liability. So it rises as a percentage of the other liability coverage. Workers' compensation, we had an 8% increase across the board in payrolls for the city. What the insurance company was able to do was drop the rates down a little bit, so you only had a 2% increase in the work comp premium as a net. So that brought a total new premium of $175, $160, which is a 7.1% increase over the previous year.
Okay, is that all you got?
Any other questions?
I think that sums up.
Nope, we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to 5.2, which is ordinance repealing ordinance number 3797 on Airbnbs. Tice, you want to tell us about that? Why you want to do that? Or Carrie?
Well, it appears that recent legislation that's been enacted that will go into effect August 28th has now restricted our ability to regulate the short-term rental market. We've got a new statute in the zoning section for cities and towns that says that we can't prohibit the operation, which we weren't prohibiting, of a no-impact home-based business or otherwise require a person to apply for, register for, or obtain any permit, license, variance, or other type of prior approval. And then it defines a no-impact home-based business as the number of employees and clients on the site doesn't exceed the occupancy limit of the dwelling, and the activities are limited to the sale of lawful goods and services. They can have clients on the property. You can't increase the traffic through the residential area in a substantial way. You cannot violate parking regulations. Has to occur in the dwelling or in the yard. It's not supposed to be visible from the street and doesn't violate narrowly tailored regulations, which would be, health, safety, welfare, fire code, and stuff like that. And I think with Tice, he reviewed this with me, and he thinks that we can't do the conditional use permit for the short-term rentals anymore.
Okay. Read it as a bill.
You're also repealing.
All right, I'm way off on that. I was reading. You're repealing what?
Aren't we repealing some?
That's what we're doing, we're repealing.
22-.
So this is an ordinance repealing the ordinance number 3797 titled authorizing conditional use permits in all R-zone district for any Airbnb type short-term rental.
Okay, get a motion on the first reading. Michael makes a motion, Todd seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn? Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And John?
Sorry, I don't know that I said that.
Second reading?
Bill number 22-077. An ordinance repealing ordinance number 3797, authorizing conditional use permits in all R-zone districts for Airbnb type short-term rentals.
Get a motion on the second reading.
Motion.
Todd makes a motion, Linda seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And John?
Read as an ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3888, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 3797, authorizing conditional use permits in all R-zone districts for Airbnb type short-term rentals.
A motion on the reading of the ordinance. Michael makes a motion.
Yes.
Reggie seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 5.3, ordinance regarding application for taxi cab business.
Before we pass on to that, can I just say one thing about the prior ordinance? I think there was a conditional use permit for a short-term rental that was approved in the zoning meeting. but
Yes.
That's moot now. So we're not gonna be approving that conditional use permit, and we're moving on.
Yep.
And the other question would be, we do have a couple that are out there, will or have they been notified?
I know the zoning meeting wasn't too long ago, but that's.
No, we had one
We
earlier.
just passed it, so we'll notify him now.
Thank you.
All right, sorry.
Okay? Okay, ordinance 5.3, ordinance regarding application for taxi cab business. Read this bill, please.
And I will point out on this one, there is a couple of spots where you need to check a box to whether you approve or don't approve, or find or don't find. So, bill number 22-078, ordinance regarding application for taxi cab business. So I would propose any motion needs to fill in those two spots.
I would propose or make the motion.
Okay,
and
Todd,
then-
make a motion.
And for the fill-ins would be does find and grants for section 1. That's my motion.
Okay, get a second? John seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Discussion.
Yes. Okay?
As this application has down, it has St. Robert, Missouri, 65583. So it has to be corrected. So does he want to pass this with the incorrect city, or do a correction on it with Todd's motion?
Is it on the ordinance
It's
or
in
on the bill?
Appendix, Exhibit A.
Yeah, that's his mailing, I guess.
Well,
He got
the address on it, it says, a business address and telephone. It must be in the city limits of St. Robert, Missouri.
And that address is, it's just got an incorrect zip code.
So change it.
Well, Y Highway and where he lives is not in the city limits. It's in Waynesville. So he needs to have a P.O. box.
Where are we at on that? I thought that was removed in like 2010.
Not on Y Highway.
No,
I meant
that you have to have, it must be in the city limits.
Well, then this code is messed up. Because it's in the.
Yeah, this is messed up, I think, the exhibit.
Yeah. The exhibit is messed up.
Can we research that right now? Somebody got the code book?
Or,
I've got it on here, I just need to see what it's what it says.
Yes.
I think that was taken out in 2010 when we stopped the telephones in the city. But you used to have a telephone in the city, physical location, when the cell phones all came in.
It's, in the curve across from, Glass Dog.
It says that each taxi cab business shall maintain an office and telephone in the city of St. Robert in order to
That's still in
provide
there?
efficient service to the public.
Let me see the,
So he needs a P.O. box.
Mayor, let me see
No.
the,
No, no.
let me see the app a second, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's give them
I
time.
don't know.
Okay.
That ties.
Turkey or the chicken?
To say whether that's in the city limits.
Oh, man.
That, he's right. That's it.
So you gotta have one in the city.
Huh?
So
It's
Charles
gotta
is
be in
right.
the city.
Yeah. So he needs a P.O. box.
I'm just, I think
No,
I'm
it's
right,
supposed to have a
but
residence.
I don't know those numbers well enough to, absolutely, but I think you may be right there. That
The
it's
address
out,
of the business has to be in St. Robert.
if the application is infirm on the meeting that, then it would not qualify. Can somebody absolutely affirm to me, chief, whether that address is outside city limits?
Yeah, 2274 is outside the city limits.
Yeah, that's my mailing address. My business address is on Gaza Repair Shop.
Well, the problem is, it said,
That's in the city
Yeah,
limits.
you're
You
gonna have
put
to,
it down.
you're gonna have to amend
Yeah,
that.
that's just my.
you're gonna have to redo your app.
He has another address.
Okay,
So we
He has
gotta
another
amend that,
business
what
in-
you read.
so he's got to
In the
resubmit it.
city
Right.
limits, yes.
So he's got to resubmit.
You gotta resubmit.
He can amend that, I would imagine. I don't know,
think
you'd have
we
to
can
talk to
amend it.
Tice on that.
I think
He can amend it.
Right now?
Can we
or
amend it
you want
right
to-
now, Tice?
If he can amend it now, the problem is that the public hearing was based upon the application
Oh.
that he submitted on the little
And
con.
Charles brought it up.
Well, I'm glad he did.
Yep, I thought he was
And
talking
I
about
don't,
something else.
I think you have to bring it back and start over again. I'm not gonna be,
I'll make a motion if we have to, that we bring it back to the
You don't have to do that.
next
I
meeting.
don't like the idea of having a public hearing and the application's infirm, and then let you correct it after the public hearing, and nobody can, because he's got, if they're not in the city limits, then he's had to start over again.
Okay,
I'm sorry, but there's no other choice.
okay,
Okay,
okay, so let's drop 5.3,
table it.
I,
table it.
Does that mean we're gonna bump up the numbers?
Yes,
The mailing address is in.
Edna.
up the
it
numbers.
doesn't matter.
Table.
The problem is, it cannot, it may be.
Okay,
But-
5.4, moving on. 5.4 is ordinance amending city code section 605-270 for taxi fares.
And I have a question on that. Do we have to,
I think that's gonna be bumped back
Table
too,
two.
because we got some dissent from all the taxi cab companies on price. So you wanna rework that?
Were they at the meeting when you guys
No.
discussed these?
no,
No, they wouldn't be
there
there.
was no representative from the taxi companies.
When they,
Notified they didn't
Yes.
come?
Yeah,
They did come and we discussed the pricing at that time.
Okay.
no
And
representation from the taxi companies
On their
at our
part,
meeting,
no.
no.
And then the other thing I want to point out, since we are talking about this, the last time we did this, and Chief, you were here, I remember you and I were at this meeting, we set these rates the way they were and laid them out the way they were at the recommendation of the taxi cab companies.
before, not this last
Yes,
time.
initially, not this last time. We changed them to this based on their recommendations. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right.
I agree with Linda, we have to table that one too.
Yep.
Okay,
So do we have to
table
have another-
5.3 and
We'll table
5.4.
Oh, guys.
Got
Wait,
it?
I have a question.
Just
Do we
got it
have to have
straight.
another taxi meeting?
Do we have to have another public taxi hearing meeting?
Not right now. We'll give it when we get to the committees.
Okay.
Okay, moving right along, 5.5, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Missouri Neon. Anita?
This is a tri-state bonding sign that was donated to us by Route 66 Association. We have, after this sign, we'll have 3 more signs to get refurbished, and then all of them in our possession will be done.
Okay.
We advertised it on the city's website and in the Dixon Pilot.
Okay. Okay, bill number 22078. Will you read that as a bill, please?
Okay. Bill number 22-078, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Missouri Neon Company to refurbish and install tri-state bonding sign.
Okay, got a motion on the first reading.
Motion.
Linda makes a motion.
Second.
Michael seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And John?
Second reading?
Bill number 22-078, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Missouri Neon Company to refurbish and install tri-state bonding sign.
Got a motion on the second reading.
Motion.
Reggie makes a motion, John seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
Read an ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3888, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Missouri Neon Company to refurbish and
I think
install.
that's 3889.
It's 89.
Short-term mayor
89.
Booby.
That's what I'm, 3889.
Thank you.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with Missouri Neon Company to refurbish and install tri-state bonding sign.
Got a motion on the reading.
Motion.
Michael makes a motion, Reggie seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
Okay, second reading.
We're done. That was the ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry. 5.6.
That one I would like to table until the next meeting. I'm trying to figure out all of the contracts. The reason is, this is trying to
So
say
it's not
an
ready?
option out there. I'm not real sure how these all interrelate or the cost structures and everything on these options. Because I still haven't figured out the break-even point yet on
Okay.
our tonnage.
Okay,
And
moving right along, 5.7.
But I thought, can I say something? I thought this was already determined in the last contract, this option.
what?
I thought this was already determined in the original contract, option 4.
This is not changing.
It may be, but I did not look at it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm negotiating with
Next.
somebody on a contract extension.
Which is after this extension.
It's after this one,
So what is this
2023 to
ordinance on?
2024. That
Is this
one.
just the extension?
This is just 4, yeah, the option 4 of the one that got approved.
This is the fourth year option, right?
Yes, of the original contract, that's it.
pull up the
Yeah, it's options, it says that in the ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay, read it as a bill. We won't skip that.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm gonna check my
See ya, Penny.
Thank you, sorry. And then is this gonna be 079
No, it's gonna
Yes.
be a-
and
90,
90?
yes.
I just wanna get it right. Okay.
Okay,
Bill number 22-079, an ordinance approving the execution of an amendment of solicitation modification of contract order number W911S7-18-P-0069 with the United States of America for transfer station services.
Okay, get a motion. Glenn makes a motion. Get a second. Todd seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Yay, Glenn!
Glenn,
That was quick, Glenn.
Can we exercise an
Charles.
option of making an amendment?
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Never-
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
and John.
Yes.
Okay, second reading.
Bill number 22-079, an ordinance approving the execution of an amendment of solicitation / modification of contract / order number W911S7-18-P-0069 for the United States of America for transfer station services.
Get a motion on the second reading.
Motion.
Reggie makes a motion. Charles seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
and John.
Read as an ordinance, please.
See, the only thing it's doing is exercising the option.
Okay.
Let me get back up there.
Excuse me, I had a problem because the government's title says amendment or,
That's just a form.
but it actually is an exercise of an option if you go down to
Yeah.
the body. She read it better than I did.
Okay.
That's just what the form is called, so that's what I typed. Okay.
All that farm food.
That's what I was looking at. I don't
Lawyer
see it.
stuff. Ordinance number 389,
90, 3890.
3890. Okay, I'm confused. It's not. An ordinance approving the execution of an amendment of solicitation modification of contract order number W911S7-18-P-0069 with the United States of America for transfer station services.
Get a motion on the reading of the order. Michael makes a motion. Todd seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Okay, code of ethics. I think that's what we are reaffirming that. Read it as a bill, please.
Bill number, okay, so this one is, this is killing me.
80,
80
Yes.
and
91.
91?
Yes.
Okay. Bill number 22-080, an ordinance reaffirming chapter 106 of the Code of the City of St. Robert, Missouri.
Get a motion on the reading. Michael makes a motion. Glenn seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
and John.
Yes.
Second reading.
Bill number 22-080, an ordinance reaffirming chapter 106 of the Code of the City of St. Robert, Missouri.
Get a motion on the second reading.
Motion.
Reggie makes a motion. Todd seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
and John.
Read as an ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3891, an ordinance reaffirming chapter 106 of the Code of the City of St. Robert, Missouri.
Get a motion on the reading of the ordinance. Glenn makes a motion. Michael seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael, and John.
Yes.
Okay, 5.8 is the update on the mid-year budget, which we had a committee meeting. I don't know if the committee wants to talk about it, or we just move on.
No, I think it was, I think using Edna's words, this was one of the cleanest ones we've had in a long time, is that right? Or easiest?
It was
The-
going through.
Yeah, the change to the budget was not very much in the grand total of the total budget, so.
Okay? Read as a bill,
everybody's
please.
there.
Yeah, I agree with you.
They just need shorter titles for these.
So this is 081 and
92.
392. Okay. Bill number 22-081, an ordinance authorizing the passage, enforcement, and utilization of a revised 2022 budget for the city of St. Robert.
A motion on the first reading. Glenn makes a motion.
Second.
Todd seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Second reading.
Bill number 22-081, an ordinance authorizing the passage, enforcement, and utilization of a revised 2022 budget for the city of St. Robert.
Can I get a motion on the second
Motion.
reading? Linda makes a motion, Michael seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
and John.
Yes.
Ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3892, an ordinance authorizing the passage, enforcement, and utilization of a revised 2022 budget for the city of St. Robert.
Motion. Charles makes a motion, get a second. John seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
and John.
Yes.
Okay, the next one's the insurance, 5.9. Read this bill, please. 82 and
93.
93.
Oh, this is why I like to have a paper copy. Bill number 22-082, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept a premium summary provided by Allis Acres Army Insurance and Business Advisors for liability, property, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance.
Get a motion on the first reading. Todd makes a motion, John seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Second reading.
Bill number 22-082, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept a premium summary provided by Allis Acres Army Insurance and Business Advisors for liability, property, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance.
Get a motion on the second reading.
Motion.
Linda makes a motion, Michael seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3893,
Yep.
an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept a premium summary provided by Allis Acres Army Insurance and Business Advisors for liability, property, casualty, and workers' compensation insurance.
Get a motion on the reading of the ordinance.
Motion.
Reggie makes a motion, Todd seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, 5.10, ordinance authorizing the purchase of dumpsters. We don't have Ricky here. I don't know what happened here.
This is for 15 dumpsters. We needed them.
These are construction dumpsters.
Right.
Yeah.
We didn't have any, and we were getting ready to take on a bigger project. We were out, so
Yeah.
our original bid was for 10. The mayor had us go back and get 15, and Ricky did get 3 bids.
Okay. Read it as a bill, please. 83 and
Okay.
94.
Bill number 22-083, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of dumpsters from Downing Sales and Service Incorporated.
The motion on the first reading, Michael makes a motion, John seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Second reading,
Okay. Did you say second reading?
yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Bill number 22-083, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of dumpsters from Downing Sales and Service Incorporated.
Get a motion on the second reading.
Motion.
Reggie makes a motion, get a second, John seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3894, an ordinance authorizing the purchase of dumpsters from Downing Sales and Service Incorporated.
Get a motion on the reading of the ordinance, Michael makes a motion.
Second.
Glenn seconds, clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, we got a renewal of their rental space out at Superior for J.E. Dunn. Read his bill, please.
All right, bill number 22-084.
Yep.
An ordinance approving a one-year renewal of the commercial lease between the City of St. Robert and J.E. Dunn Construction.
Get a motion on the first reading. Todd makes a motion. Michael seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Discussion.
Okay?
The monthly rental is $800.
Yep. Per building, if you've got 2 or 3
They
buildings.
pay,
on
they
it.
have 3,
3, yeah.
So it's actually,
2,400.
2,400 a month.
2,400, okay. That's all I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a motion and second? I think, right?
Yes.
Call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael, Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes?
Glenn.
Yes.
Second reading?
Bill number 22-084, an ordinance approving a one-year renewal of the commercial lease between the City of St. Robert and J.E. Dunn Construction.
Get a motion on the second reading. John makes a motion.
Second.
Glenn seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael, Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes?
and Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance, please.
Ordinance number 3895, an ordinance approving a one-year renewal of the commercial lease between the City of St. Robert and J.E. Dunn Construction.
Get a motion on the reading of the ordinance.
Motion.
Linda makes a motion. Todd second. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, and then we got an MPUA. Anita?
This is on a, like a mutual aid agreement, if we had a FEMA disaster, but also they could come in and like the work we're having done with Kiowa, they've added another division. We could contract with them and have them come in and do some work for us. It's a new division they're adding.
Okay.
But it's not a,
Requires
do
that.
we pay them like a retaining fee, or is it like, or do we just,
FEMA rates, they set the rates, we don't.
but we don't pay them unless we're actually using them, though?
Right, there's
Okay.
no fee until you actually use them.
Okay,
Typically, it'd be in a disaster, but
Right.
they've hired a division of linemen, so if we needed
And we're
help.
not required to get them,
Right,
not,
not.
okay. Okay, read his bill.
Bill number 22-085, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a master services agreement and a project services agreement with MPUA Resource Services Corporation.
Get a motion on the first reading. Michael
Motion.
makes a motion. Linda seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
yes.
Charles,
Yes?
Glenn.
Yes.
Second reading.
Bill number 22-085, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a master services agreement and a project services agreement with MPUA Resource Services Corporation.
Get a motion on the second reading. Todd makes a motion. John seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Certainly.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Moving right along. Okay, next committee meetings, wage finance.
We have the ordinance.
Oh, we did.
Can you do ordinance read?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. I'm sorry.
Ordinance,
I was
ordinance
moving
number,
along.
ordinance number 3896, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a master services agreement and a project services agreement with MPUA Resource Services Corporation.
A motion on the reading of the ordinance.
Motion.
Second.
Linda makes a motion. Glenn seconds. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
John,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Reggie,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Charles,
Yes.
and Glenn.
Yes.
Okay, next committee meeting schedule, wage finance. None?
None?
Public Works, Steve, anything? Emergency Services?
I'm here.
None here.
No.
Park Committee? Nothing, and you said something about the Halloween in the park? Is that gonna be
Holiday
on?
in the Park will be their next event. Halloween, we've
So you're
done,
not having the one in October at all?
no.
Really?
Well, the other places in the community, we haven't had it for 3 years, have stepped up and had the event.
Okay,
And we have honestly outgrown our facility. The public has outgrown our facility
yeah.
for that
Okay.
event.
Sounds good. So we'll do Christmas.
Christmas in the park.
Okay. Comments by Alderman. Start with here, down here with John.
I don't have any comments.
Okay. Michael? Nothing? Todd?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you. Reggie?
Welcome, Mr. Glenn, down there.
Thank you, sir.
You did good.
Thank you.
Okay, good, yeah. Linda?
You know me, I can't think of anything right now.
It'll all come up later. Charles?
Yeah, I'm just glad that, we finally got to work on the, Y Highway intersection. They started putting curbing in, and man, I think, Mrs.
They work at night, you know.
Oh, yeah, they sure do. Sleeping.
You know, Mayor staged that right before city council, so he was covered.
But that's all I have.
Okay. Glenn?
I'm eager to sit in the seat and get started to learn more.
Okay. Okay. Okay, moving right along. Comments by administration. Edna?
Okay, I just have an update on the sales taxes. Reported taxable sales tax year-to-date is $2,001.728, I'm sorry. The general sales tax received for the month of August is up 11.24% over 2021. Year-to-date, we received an additional $221,000 in general sales tax. Also, the use tax for the month of August was $47,282. Year-to-date, taxable sales online has been reported to be $2,122,655, I'm sorry. Year-to-date, the average that's coming in monthly is $34,213.
How much?
$34,213. That's the average monthly collection so far.
For user tax.
Per user tax, yes. Also, the balance in the operating account after the deduction of the payable tonight, payroll and the bond payment is $2.9 million.
Okay. Scotty's not here?
No.
No. Okay. Moving along, Curtis, Mike, Steve?
Last couple of weeks, we done an emergency patch on the floor in the transfer station. It had formed a fairly big hole in it, so we patched that up to, so we can get it, I guess, so we wouldn't have any more problems in that area until we can contract it out to do a proper patch.
When that cable exploded again, was there?
Yep.
No, it went all the way to the rock.
Yeah, it really exploded this time. We found some manholes that are in pretty bad shape, and they're on the discharge end of Pump Station 6. We had actually a guy come in that treats that stuff with a chemical. The hydrogen sulfite level is extremely high. It's almost to the point of a deadly gas. So one huff of it, and it could be fatal. So we're injecting this product that he has, and he grows his own microscopic bugs, and we have purchased that from him. We're putting it in at the lift station, and it's supposed to start dropping down the H2S gases, and we're going to use an oxidizer to kind of polish that, and then after we get it down to a manageable level, then we can taper back off of it, and it's just a biofilm that builds up with that H2S, and that's what we're mainly having problems with. a couple of manholes down from that we had them redone once already. They're bad shape again. So till we get this under control, it isn't gonna help to do anything to the manholes. One of the manholes further down the line is actually gonna have to be replaced. It is 8 all the way through. We're starting to see dirt on the backside of the manholes. So the vortex that we put in is doing its job. It's coming in really high and then it's dropping it down when it gets to the bottom, but it just isn't low enough. So we're trying to get that down to below 3 parts per million, so it's a manageable gas, and then it's not gonna be as corrosive when you get down to below 3 parts per million. Larry and I met with the engineer and the company Echo Electric to go over the SCADA system for the new wastewater treatment plant. Everything went well. Everything worked the way it should. Engineer was there to go completely through all the alarms, the testing. So they approved that, and I think it is being forwarded on to the city and the FEMA right now. I guess the first big rain after this drought, well 6 actually dirtied up again. So we immediately took it out of system and pumped it to waste for a 24-hour pump to waste cycle. Cleaned up, it's back in operation. It went back in operation the very next day. A lot of times when you get the drought and then a heavy rain, you'll get a cave off or something down in the well, and that's what dirtied it up. Our turbidity meter caught it, shut it off before it filled the well full of any dirt. We did have a water main break on Y Highway. It was about 100 foot north of St. Robert Boulevard entrance there. So we got that repaired. That line from about Cracker Barrel all the way down Y Highway is pretty bad shape. It's pretty old. So I know we're redoing the one underneath the new entrance there, or the new St. Robert Boulevard entrance, so that that'll keep us from digging any of that new stuff up there when it gets in operation. We did pour a pretty good slab of concrete, I guess between the curb and the sidewalk out in Brush Creek. So there was mailboxes there that was kind of, I guess they was a temporary state. So we poured a slab. The Postal Service will actually go in and mount permanent mailboxes there now.
Lockable ones.
What's that?
Lockable ones.
Yeah, lockable, because they had an issue out there before.
Yeah, they continue to have a problem.
I sat there, when we was getting ready to pour the concrete, I sat there and watched the mailman. It took him about 35 to 40 minutes to run through all those mailboxes. There's about 163 mailboxes in one spot, so it takes him quite a while to get through them all. And then the winter road salt is on order, so we should be getting that here in the next couple of weeks and be ready to go.
Okay, and we've been hauling dirt.
Been hauling dirt up until today.
Yeah.
So.
I got 2 quick questions. Can you give me a call tomorrow? I need to talk to you about some property down by the treatment plant, and can you have Jeremy call me about that sign issue,
Yep.
please?
You bet.
I got 2 questions for him, Mayor.
Okay.
You talked about microscopic bugs. Has that been approved for use, and what type of bug is it to go around?
That's what wastewater is all about.
I knew that was gonna come up. I tell you what's really, really cool is do yourself a favor and learn how a water treatment plant or waste treatment plant actually works, because it's all about microscopic bugs.
Yeah.
That's how it controls the odor, that's how it controls the, getting rid of the waste, keeps the
Yeah.
smell down and everything else, so
Yeah,
check it out.
The reason I ask is because citizens will ask that question, what's the deal with the microscopic bug?
They're,
And pump
it's in.
station number 6, where is that? Is that the one in Bush Creek, or is that the one off of I-44?
You mean well number 6
Yeah,
or
well number
pump
6.
station number 6?
Pump station.
The
number
one
6.
that we're having the
Yeah.
issue?
Mhm.
That is in Woodridge, down off Sycamore Drive. It's the,
In that little dead end cover?
yeah, it's
Okay.
the main station that carries everything from Fort Leonard Wood down to, I guess, Boza.
Mhm.
And then everything on this side of Missouri Avenue out to Woodridge. So it carries about half the town.
And I have a complaint from several citizens about Sawmill Road cracks. Now, across from, I think it's 113, in the middle of the driveway, it's this big old crack. I mean, it's about cracking into people's driveway right there. And it's another one on down past, I think it's where you live at.
Right around 143.
143, and it's, I mean, it's bad, so we might wanna look at that.
Is it in the road or?
Yes, in the road.
How big is the crack?
How big is your crack? Now, the crack that's right there at 113 is about, well, that's okay, because it's a crack, whether you look at it or not. It may be brown, it may be white, but this one is black. A black asphalt crack, about that wide, and it's maybe about 8 feet long, and it's, you know.
Yeah. Asphalt's normally gonna crack. We'll look at them. The only way to really take care of those is to seal them up. We don't have a sealing machine anymore. We used to. We try to seal them up. You keep the moisture from going down in the road, and then it keeps it from spreading and popping up in the winter.
Okay, well, now you.
But we will look at it.
Thanks, Mayor.
Okay.
Thanks.
Don?
Mr. Clinton.
Just a couple of things. The storms that rolled through last week has created me one big headache. We had a disc enclosure go down and our backup appliance went down at the same time. Now, the hard drive enclosure wouldn't be such a problem, but that is what had all the users' data, all the department's data on them. I tried to restore it. Thankfully, I back it up online. I tried to restore it, but I spent the whole weekend, I got from 2010 to 2014. And that is only maybe 1 gigabyte of 4 terabytes of data. I don't know if you guys understand the difference between 1 gig.
Not very much.
No, not very much at all. So I contacted iDrive, who I use to back up online, and I'm having some recovery drives overnighted to us so I can hopefully download this stuff faster. Also, the storm that came through took out one hard drive on one of the servers. Thankfully, I had a spare hard drive to fix that. That was no problem. That's pretty, I got the police department's tablets that we discussed in emergency services, and I ordered the 7 tablets for the fire department. They should be in like 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a report for Ricky.
Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm. He's working on trailer number 21 tonight. It's out of service and he needs it tomorrow, or he would be here. His average weekly total of tonnage is 214.98, and his monthly was 1504.86.
Okay, thank you. Stephanie?
Wait, I have a question about the, Ricky. I went by there the other night, like at 9 o'clock, and there was a truck there with lights on. Do they come in that late?
Ricky does.
Ricky will.
He goes after hours and he washes the trailers out.
Oh.
Things they can't get done during the week.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, Stephanie?
A round trip to Black Oak's 143 miles.
Well, that's why I thought maybe they just got back or something. That's pretty late.
That's probably true.
For the pool, we have about 3 weeks left before we close. The last day is September
You'll be
5th
lucky.
on Labor Day.
How are we doing on lifeguards? They getting ready to pack up?
They are getting ready to pack up, but I do have 6 of them that will still be here. 2 are still previous returning lifeguards, and then the other ones are high schoolers. So we're still going to stay open all the way through full days, all the way until the 21st of August. And then we will be weekends, the 27th, 28th, and then September 3rd through the 5th. We have like 11 pool parties left to do. All our swim lessons for August is full with a lot of preschoolers, 3 and 4-year-olds coming to learn, and we have 18 returning so that they can continue to learn how to swim. On an average, this past week, we've had about 150 at the pool, with 24 being pass holders, with an average of 75 pass holders in one day. I have this community center rented out all the way up until November 19th, except for August 27th, for every weekend. We've had 2 businesses inquire about the sponsorship banners and what they can do to get their banners put up. So we're slowly starting to do the sponsorship and silent auction for the 3rd annual KCBS barbecue. And then last, the St. Robert Historical Preservation Committee has a dinner this Saturday at the community center starting at 5 p.m.
Okay. And Mark, did you get with her on the showers?
Yes, we got with Roger, they're working on that.
Those are done. The showers adjust in there, so when they turn the showers to different pressures to come out.
So they're not corroded up?
No, we did replace one, but the rest of them are fine.
Okay.
All the shower curtains are clean
Okay.
and everything like that. I know they did say something about the water pressure, but as they turn the knob to like adjust how they want the water to come out, that's where the water pressure changes at. So it's not something that we can do with that one.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Tice? Anything for open?
We have nothing for.
Anita?
I just have a few things. Attended the committee of 50. They honored the drill sergeant of the year, and she was from Fort Leonard Wood. It was SSG Kristen Osborne. She competed against 600 plus other drill sergeants. So the general was at the meeting, and she did a great presentation. She said that they weren't just raising pit bulls for drill sergeants, that they all go home at night and take care of their families. So we got a kick out of that. We applied for and received a $12,000 grant with no match for recycling bins. I'll get the financial agreement next month when Ozark Rivers meets. We have about 6 bins left now, so it just came at the right time. And that's for about 1,000 of them. Met with the new superintendent at Waynesville School with John Doyle and Mark, and we talked about youth sports and the facilities the school has. Sent a letter to Waynesville. We needed 2 full-time coordinators instead of 1. Went to the AUSA meeting at 7:30 a.m. and I passed out the meeting notes. They had the longest meeting they've had because they had just a lot of activities going on in the area. SOP, Sustainable Ozarks Partnership annual meeting will be at the ARC on the 17th from 9 to 12. Committee of 50 is providing lunch. You'll have to go to their website if you haven't signed up yet.
And I highly encourage all the council members to go.
The governor will be at the meeting, so.
Governor, both senators, congressmen.
Right. Growth Alliance meets tomorrow at 9 a.m. We have the Missouri Economic Development Central District representative who represents our area. So we're hoping to tell our story and have a good turnout if you can attend. We have a Neon Park meeting Thursday at 1:30 with Archer Elgin, Steve Long, Beth Wiles, Missouri Neon, and me and the mayor. I-44, there's work on the east and west. I've been posting it on Facebook, so, you know, be careful when you're going there. I want to thank Chief Currington for doing an active shooters refresher course. We have all new staff up front, and he walked us through it and spent about an hour with us. And that was awesome, and gave the girls insight to it. Today, we welcomed Jimmy John's to our community. It was the first day they opened. We also went to US Cellular next door and welcomed them. And we'll have a couple of more welcomes for next week. I just haven't gotten what good day is good for them. I'll send an email out like I did for these others. I've tasked Mark, we're getting ready to start a whole new refresh on the city's website. Martell has taken a bunch of new pictures and our website needs to be updated, so I believe Mark started today on going through things and
Donna
trying.
has been looking at the website and see what needed updated. We had just the first phone call today with the company and got some tasks to start, and it'll be, about how long was the time frame, Don? It'll probably take us a few months before we can get it online, so. If you have any thoughts about the website and how you think it could be improved, please get it with me and we can see if we can make that happen.
Okay. Okay, what else you got, Nina?
That's it, Mayor.
Okay. I got a couple things here. We also got in today, and I was surprised because we just did it last week. They gave me a call, and we submitted Marshall Drive, or Marshall Street, whatever it is, for sidewalks, 8-foot-wide sidewalks. Supposedly they still had money left over. And then Anita told me today she got it in, it was approved.
Right,
It's
it
an 80-20,
was approved, I
80-90-10.
forgot that, but here is the map if you all want to see the areas. The email I got said it was approved for the total amount, just because they hadn't received that many applications here.
Yeah. We've been trying to get that for probably 5 years. 6
Oh,
years.
Lord, yes.
Okay, the next thing I wanted, we got an old police car that the fire department used. We never could get a title for it. It was never titled back in '01 or '02. Got with Tice. They searched the state and tried to get titled, couldn't get it. So he's gonna do a special thing for $300 or something.
We did a bill of sale.
You did a bill of sale?
Yeah, Kerry did a very extensive search trying to find that title. We operated it for no.
Yeah, so it can only be trashed is what it can be.
We just couldn't we couldn't find the title, so there's a state statute that says you have to provide a title at the time of sale. So what we did is a special bill of sale with a waiver of that statute and an agreement they not go on the public roads until it's legal to do so.
Got transmission engine problems, everything. So Anita can handle that now? She's got the authority for 500 and less.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and do that. It's just bill of sale, you sign it and they sign it.
Okay.
They already have it, and I sent it over with all the blanks and Edna filled it in, so it's ready to go.
Okay. And then, the next regular Board of Aldermen meeting will be August 23rd at 5 p.m. And the meeting's being closed pursuant to Missouri Law, Chapter 610-021, to include Section 1 legal, Section 2 real estate, and Section 3 personnel.
Mayor, I did forget something.
Oh.
You want me to do it when we come out? Are we gonna go?
No, go ahead. You've already.
Our September meeting, we're gonna have to reschedule it, one of them because of MML, and the majority of the board's
Okay.
going to MML.
Yeah, that's no big thing. Okay, Michael made a motion. Todd second. Clarification, discussion, call the roll.
Glenn?
Yes.
Charles?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Reggie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
Thank you, Tim.